Well, good evening, everybody. This is John Unell from Schuylkill Haven, Pennsylvania, aka John I Fly. And I trust that you people are enjoying the weekend. I certainly am, although the temperature could be a little warmer. But I had the chance today. I went up to Danville, had my second appointment for my COVID-19 vaccination, and I got it. And there we go. I think you can see the Band-Aid. So this is dose number 2, and hopefully I'll be set for a while. A little sore in the arm, but nothing major. So I'm glad that's done. I trust that all my friends here are also getting their vaccine done. Very important to not only protect yourself, but your fellow friends and people that you're around on a day-to-day basis. But anyway, what's happening? Well, seems like a lot of shootings going on of late. And I was just watching TV. I think this was, I believe it was a Thursday or Friday. I don't have the date written down here, but I think it was Monday. There was a shooting at the FedEx Center in Indianapolis, Indiana. Yes, another shooting. This time there were 8 victims that were deceased, and the shooter, from what I understand, was 19 years old, and he ended up killing himself, shooting himself to death. And I'm not sure, but I do think that he was an ex-employee. I'm not sure. I think that's what I heard. It's unbelievable. I believe he used a rifle too. I don't have the exact details on what gun he used, but I heard it was a rifle. I just can't understand it. I don't understand what it is that possesses people to go out and shoot fellow human beings, and then they take their own life because they know they're going to have to. I mean, they may be very depressed too, but they know that if they survive, they'd be spending time in prison and possibly either getting the death penalty or found guilty or life in prison. So the easy way out for them is to just kill themselves. It's a shame though, 19 years old. Come on, people. I mean, when I was 19, I was working retail store. I was enjoying my job, meeting new people. I'm a people person, so working in retail was the ideal job for me. Although they don't pay much, but it was still a job. It was bringing money in, getting the bills paid when I moved out on my own. Well, I didn't move out until I was 21, so tried to live at home and take advantage of the situation while I was at home, but eventually you gotta leave the nest. Well, we had that shooting, and and anyway, I know there was some other shooting, some 13-year-old, I think it was in Chicago, I can't swear by that, but I know there was some 13-year-old boy that supposedly had a gun, a pistol of some sort, and then he dropped it. When he put his hands up, he was shot. I mean, it works on both sides. Yes, the police have to be careful, but when a policeman is in danger of being killed himself, they don't have much time to make a decision. So it could very well be that this guy was justified. He feels he was justified, but we'll see what happens in that situation. I don't care if they're 13 or 27 or what age they are. You have a gun pointed at you, and you know for sure it's a gun. You know, you don't know, is it loaded or what? Person, he doesn't want to find out because he may not live to tell the tale about it. So I can see the policeman's point of view as well. We're going to have to wait and see what happens on that detail. But anyway, it seems like Friday was the final day for presenting evidence in the Derek Chauvin case. And he's the one that killed George Floyd by, well, I can just tell you right now, just looking at the video, he murdered George Floyd. There's no question about it. But the jury has to decide. I just think looking at the video itself is enough to convict this guy. It's so common sense. George is trying to get up, he couldn't breathe. And that's another thing I thought was really weird. He's telling the officer, the police officer, I think it was Derek that was doing it, I'm not sure if it was that him or his partner. He's sitting there telling them, well, get up. He wanted me to get up and go in the car. I can't breathe. I can't get up. Well, now, does that make sense that he has his knee on the guy's neck and he's telling them to get up and get in the police car? Give me a fucking break. Really. If you listen carefully, you'll hear him say that on the tape. Makes no sense. None. Well, anyway, Derek decides to take the fifth on Friday, and he's not going to testify. Well, turns out that the defense and the prosecution rested on Friday. So come Monday morning, there's going to be closing arguments from both the prosecution and the defense. So it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say, their attorneys. The jury's going to have to look at all the evidence. But like I said, for me personally, I think the video in itself speaks volumes. And then you have all the people around that were witnessing what was going on. It's like, you know, the guy's having a hard time breathing. Don't you think you ought to lift the knee off the neck? And he's looking straight up, and he knows that the people are videotaping him on their phones and everything, and he just has that look on his face of like, well, I'm in charge and I've got the power. And who the hell do you think you are? I could care less what you're saying. And that's the attitude he had. And as a result, George died, of course. And we saw that moment when he just slumped and became quiet. He was unconscious, eventually dying. So, whatever it is, the verdict, however long it's going to take and when it comes out, I'm going to tell you something. If Derek Chauvin doesn't get convicted, or if he'd get acquitted or something less, I guarantee you, I think the city of Minnesota or Minneapolis is going to be a really bad scene, a hotbed of, God forbid. I mean, we thought when Rodney King was beaten up real bad in Los Angeles back in the 90s, that was bad, and it was. I can't imagine what Minneapolis is going to look like. So everybody's going to be watching the verdict on this and see what happens. So, anyway. I just saw, I guess it was today, there was a shooting incident at the West Roads Mall in Omaha, Nebraska. I mean, come on, people. How many more shootings are we going to have? It was, from what I read here, one male victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. He was taken to Bergen Mercy Hospital in critical condition, and then shortly afterwards he died there. So they have at least one person die, and there was some woman that walked into the hospital that had gunshot wounds from the same incident. So I just can't figure out what's going on here. I mean, is it the fact that people were in isolation because of COVID all these months, over a year? I mean, I know that can be psychologically stressing. You can't just pick up and see your friends for the longest time. It's what do? You have to occupy your time doing something, or you go nuts. Well, maybe some of these people are under a lot of stress and they just can't deal with it. I don't know. I've had stressful times in my life, and I never went out and decided to shoot people up with a gun. I don't care for guns. I just there's too many things that could go wrong. And once a bullet comes out of a gun, you can't get it back. And whoever it hits and kills, you can't bring their life back. Just simple as that. So, well, moving on from the gun instances, and I hope to God, by the way, that we come up with some gun legislation. It remains to be seen, especially with that Manchin guy in West Virginia. I swear I still think he should be a Republican, the way he votes, the way he carries on. He should be a Republican. But that's a whole nother rant in and of itself. But anyway, I wonder how many of you saw that little battle with Jim Jordan the other day when they had Dr. Fauci in the committee hearing. Jim Jordan, I think, felt he was in his glory. He's sitting there attacking Fauci. How long is it going to be? We're getting the vaccines and we still have to wear our masks. And my goodness, the American people, they don't have their rights. Their rights are taken away from them. They can't go out. Freedom of assembly, they can't do that. I mean, come on, How long is it going to take? He kept pressing Dr. Fauci. And, I think Dr. Fauci said something about he's politicizing it or something. It was something else, some other word he used. And he's being a smart ass, in my opinion. And he wanted to know when our liberties will be restored. Like as if everybody's under a blanket thing, you can't do this and you can't do that. I like what Fauci said to him. He goes, this is not a matter of liberty. It's a matter of a health crisis. People are dying, for God's sake. I mean, aren't you worried about that, Mr. Jordan? Obviously not. And Jordan kept pressuring Fauci. Well, when is it? You're not telling us what's an exact date. And he basically, Dr. Fauci told him, he says, well, when we can get the amount of infections down and people are doing what they're supposed to do by wearing masks, social distancing, and all of that. Well, that's vague. You're not answering the question. I want to know for sure. And I'm pretty sure Dr. Fauci said he can't give you a definite answer. It's a matter of there's so many circumstances involved. How many people are actually doing what they're supposed to do? Social distancing and wearing masks. I would think that Jim Jordan would know this already. I mean, after all, oh man, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. What is this? You're taking away my rights, my liberties, my God. It's really a hard thing to do, to wear a mask on my face. Right. But he kept it up, and I just love it. Maxine Waters, I love that woman. I tell you what, she tells it like it is. And she finally told him, respect the chair and just shut your mouth. And I say, amen, Maxine Waters. Good for you. I read something today, a short thing, and she said, well, I shut him down. Good. Because he has nothing but a big mouth. That's all he does. He flaps his lips. He wants to be Mr. Big Shot. Oh, I'm the man of the hour, man. I know what to do. I know how to handle these little things. Yeah, okay. Anyway, long story short, Jim Jordan was trying to bully Dr. Fauci, and Dr. Fauci would have none of it. So I'm proud of him for standing up to Jim Jordan. So anyway, and to tie that in, I mean, we're talking about COVID. Well, gee, why can't we? How long is it going to be till we have to wear a mask and stuff? Well, let's just look at Michigan. I mean, they're having a surge right now, a really bad surge. And I know there's it's what do you call it? It's well, the virus is it's like a mutation, whatever, variant. That's what I was trying to think of. They have a variant, something B117. I think that's what it is. Something 117. That's the variant. I believe it was very prominent in England or something. I think they named it, or they came in very bad over in England, if I'm not mistaken. But in any event, it's a very bad virus. It's easily spread, and they're really getting walloped over in like Detroit, Michigan and all. But according to Jim Jordan, what the hell? We need to have our liberties back, man. You can't do this to us. Well, look at Michigan. You're going to see what's happened. You know, I wouldn't be surprised they had all those nut jobs that went over there and tried to oust the governor from her position and everything else. And I believe they were in front of their Capitol building over there. Same thing, almost very similar to January the 6th with the U.S. Federal Capitol building. You know? I don't know. They must think that this is a joke. They don't believe that this is a real virus or something. They don't believe it until one of their family members get it or they get it. Then it's a little too late. But anyway, that's about all I have right now. But yeah, did I tell you I got my second shot today? I did. So finally, that was taken care of. It's about 43 miles or so away. Took about 45, 50 minutes to get there. A little on the cool side today, and but it was nice. I made it up, had my shot around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, had to sit there for 15 minutes. Didn't feel anything out of the ordinary. I might have had a little bit of a headache driving home, but it wasn't bad. And a little sore in the arm, but I'll make it. And one of the medical staff told me to keep hydrating myself, drink lots of water and stuff. So I guess that will make any side effects not as bad. But I really don't have any side effects right now. I should have a good night's rest tonight. But anyway, thank you for taking the time to listen to me. Remember, I go as John I Fly on YouTube, so please make sure you like it and subscribe. If you haven't have a subscription before, feel free to do that and like it. And also on Facebook, I go under my real name, John R. Unell. That's Unell. And I do a lot of it on YouTube, but I also paste it on Facebook, or my good friend Randy, he also will share it on Facebook. So yeah, make sure you check it out. And also make sure, with this COVID going around, make sure that you're always wearing your mask. If you have one of those cloth masks, I wash it out regularly. I've been even washing out my temporary masks. I use them for a little bit, and so far so good. I think we're gonna get this whipped, but we just got to stop this stupid attitude by the Republican Party, the radicals. And about We want our freedoms back like as if we took their freedoms from them. We didn't. They put it on strong just to try. I think they like to hear the sound of their own voice, you know. I was watching on CNN tonight. They had this special little news thing about white evangelical Christians and their pastors are the ones telling them, oh, you don't need to take that vaccine. Like one of them said, well, we have Jesus. He's going to protect you from the vaccine. Yeah, well, I'd like to know how many other people were protected from the vaccine, that they put their hope in the Lord and all, but for whatever reason, they still died. I don't know. But anyway, I trust science. And just remember, continue to wear your mask, social distancing, which is at least 6 feet away. Wash your hands regularly for at least 20 to 22 seconds. Scrub your hands real good and get them clean. If you're in a situation where you're out in public, don't be touching your fingers to your eyes or your mouth, because that's how you can get it spread. If you have it on your hands or somebody coughed and the droplets, they're real fine. If you don't breathe them in, because if you have a mask on, chances are better that you won't breathe them in, or it'll be very little. Excuse me. Oh my God. Getting tired already. It's only 9:46 Eastern Daylight Time. But anyway, I had a long enough drive today, but I'm glad I got my second shot. Just remember that, stay away from nasty-ass people, too. There's people out there. I have a guy who has a business across the road the other day. I just as a point of conversation. Oh, I said, did you get your vaccination? Oh, I'm not getting a vaccine. And now he has a business that deals with other people. He gave me this lecture. I have people coming in and out, customers, and they're not bothered by it. I said, how do you know? Did you get tested? You didn't get tested, did you? Oh, he doesn't want to be involved in it. He could care less. And I told him right out. I says, well, if I'm around you, I said, my mask is coming on. I said, I don't need to carry anything you might be having. He didn't like that. But it's facts are facts, people. They need to pull their fingers out of their ass and face facts, and not this stupid QAnon and all this other bullshit that they peddle. The health, your health, my health is very important to me. And these people have to stop believing lies, or else we'll be dealing with this for years to come. Well, anyway, that's all I have to say. Thanks for taking the time to listen. If you haven't gotten your vaccine yet, please do so. Now, I had the Pfizer vaccine. I like that. And hopefully they'll work on that Johnson & Johnson thing and find out what's going on with that. But anyway, get your vaccinations if you didn't have it. And keep wearing your masks and all that, social distancing. We are going to beat this, people. It just takes time, and people need to listen to the health experts. Don't listen to Jim Jordan. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Anyway, you take care. I will talk to you people pretty soon in the coming week. So, okay, take care of yourself. I love you all, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.